Pop quiz. What do Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, Dr. Sean Murphy from The Good Doctor, Sam Gardner from Atypical, and Abed Nadir from Community all have in common? If you guess that they're all autistic, you'd be correct. However, you will notice one significant factor. They're all men. In fact, in our modern age of TV and film, where we're finally seeing diversity on screen slowly but surely, we, the neurodivergent community, are still very much being let down. Why? Because at least 1 in 100 people identify as autistic. And almost all of the on-screen adaptations we see of autism are men. One of the main struggles I hear from my own autistic patients is that they struggled growing up seeing no depictions of themselves on screen. However, Bridgerton has saved us. Welcome to Psychology on Screen. I'm Ruth, I'm an accredited and registered therapist. And this is my series breaking down all your burning psychology questions about your favourite film and TV characters. So if this is your cup of tea, boop the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. After a swift recasting, beautiful Hannah Dodd is gracing our screens as Francesca Bridgerton in this series of the iconic TV show. But it wasn't the fabulous makeup or the recasting that has us all afluster, but instead the character herself. Warning, there will be spoilers ahead. Now, Bridgerton is no stranger to breaking boring TV norms, casting an incredibly intersectional lineup in a fantasy Regency era, where slavery has been abolished and race is no longer a barrier to being an upper-class society. In Season 3, we have already seen a beautiful debutante using sign language with her mother, and a very eligible bachelor using a wheelchair. And it's given us Francesca Bridgerton. Neurodivergent fans have been quick to identify that their new diamond of the season is beautiful, intelligent, and very likely autistic. So let's break down some of these autistic traits that fans have noticed, and discuss whether they're accurate or not. We know the Bridgertons to be an extroverted, social and lively lot who thrive in their extremely busy and chatty home. But Francesca comments a number of times in this new season how she really values peace and quiet. How although she adores her siblings, she yearns for time alone. Social challenges, including overwhelm and overstimulation, are absolutely neurodivergent traits and traits of autism. Many who identify as autistic or who are more broadly neurodivergent like myself can have an additional diagnosis of hyperacusis. This is a reduced tolerance to sound, and it can make social interactions feel very draining and overwhelming, particularly in busy, loud and noisy neurotypical environments. When I think about my own hyperacusis, I think of feeling really drained and tired even if I have enjoyed an event. And I might feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, and I will seriously need some time for myself. Francesca could well just be an introvert, meaning that she gains energy from spending time alone. But I do think fans could be spot on because what they're noticing is absolutely a trait of neurodivergence. Fans have noted that when asked about her hobbies, Francesca's only one is playing her pianoforte. In fact, she often prefers playing it to being with others, and we often see her sneaking off to play by herself. Special interests and autism go hand in hand, and they can in turn come with repetitive behaviours. As you can imagine, this can produce some incredible skills, talent and intelligence. And in a scene with potential suitor Lord John Sterling, we see her pick apart a piece of music in her mind so quickly and eloquently that it blew fans away. Let's also take a pause to thank Shondaland for bringing in another potentially autistic character. Whilst Lord Sterling is male, he's also black. And people of colour are also woefully underrepresented on screen as being autistic. So could Francesca just be temporarily fixated on her pianoforte? Maybe, but I do think it's much more likely that this is a special interest. Her hyperfixation, her repetitive behaviour and her heightened intelligence of the subject really shows us that she's given time and dedication to her pianoforte. Francesca appears to try to adhere to expected social norms even more strongly than some of her often chaotic siblings. And though we know she can find social situations incredibly overwhelming and draining, we see her trying her best at each and every one. Masking is described as suppressing traits or behaviours that you fear might be seen as weird or strange or lead to rejection. And I sense fans are right to question whether this is what Francesca is doing. We often see her engaging in events or in conversations with people just to keep others happy. For example, telling her mother she would go with the Queen's choosing for her husband rather than find one for herself. She often suppresses her thoughts, feelings and true interests, and seems embarrassed on the odd occasions that she does express these things. When she and Lord Sterling happily sit in quiet in their home, even this behaviour is picked up and monitored by her mother and family. They are being perceived as different because they are being authentic to themselves in that moment. And I do think fans are right. I think this is probably a pretty strong case to suggest that Francesca could be masking. With all this being said, I am so grateful to finally see a character on screen that I know so many autistic women will be able to relate to. And I really hope this is the beginning of us seeing a more diverse range of neurodivergence on screen. But most importantly, what do you think? Could Francesca be autistic or more broadly neurodivergent? Or is she simply an introvert struggling in Regency society? Did you yourself identify with any traits of her experience? Because I know I certainly did. As always, it's been a joy to have you here. Be kind to yourself and I'll see you very soon, my love.